What if I told you that Twitter, the huge social media site that changed the way we talk in 280 characters, was never meant to exist? No, really, it wasn't part of a bigger plan. The idea for it came about almost by chance when a podcasting startup failed. Doesn't it sound crazy? But this is one of the strangest first stories in the history of technology. There's a company you may not have heard of, a team that's about to fail, and a side project that will change the internet, as well as politics, society, and business for the next 20 years. Let us go back to 2005. It was the start of the audio boom. When iTunes added podcast support, everyone thought it was the next big thing in media. Odeo is an audio platform that was co-founded by Noah Glass and backed by none other than Ev Williams. This is the same Eve Williams who sold Blogger to Google. Odeo's goal was simple: to make podcasts simple, open, and social. But there was a big problem: Apple. It was game over for companies like Odeo when Apple said that iTunes would add podcasting straight to its platform. Going up against Apple was like bringing a spoon to a gunfight. The Odeo team was shocked. Their plan for doing business had just gone away. This is where most companies would have given up. But Ev Williams didn't give up. He did something very different. He told his workers to take some time to come up with new ideas. Anything, no limits. Just think of something that might work. That's when Jack Dorsey, one of the engineers, came up with an idea. What if people could use small bursts of text to share their status, what they were doing, thinking, or feeling? It's kind of like a public text message feed. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't even fully thought out. But there was something strangely interesting about it. They started calling it Tut, yes, without the vowels, because simple names were in style and the domain name was free. The first draft wasn't very good, but the team started trying it among themselves right away. Then something strange took place. A lot of people loved it. Not because it looked good or had a lot of features. They loved it because it was personal, quick, and strangely addicting. You could put up new stuff. People could see what you were doing. You could feel linked even when there was no sound. It was kind of like digital magic. In the meantime, Odeo was still a company that worked with podcasts. But Ev Williams could see what was going on. He did something risky. He bought back all of Odeo's owners' shares, but he didn't tell them that the team had found something good. The thing in question was Twitter. By 2006, Twitter was a real business on its own. Just so we're clear, Twitter didn't take off right away. For a while it limped along. Then South by Southwest SXS2 2007 changed everything. There were big screens set up all over the meeting that showed live tweets in real time. Updates, comments, and direct conversations between people were all possible. It became a huge hit. All of a sudden, everyone at the tech event started talking about Twitter. From that point on, it blew up. A lot of people, accounts for celebrities, news in real time, hover tags, memes, the revolutions. Twitter went from being a side project at a podcast company that was going out of business to being the core of the internet. And here's the really cool part. The podcasting site it came from, Odeo, it became less noticeable. A very small part of tech history. But Twitter might not have existed if Odeo hadn't failed and Apple hadn't stifled their original plan. It's a great example of how new ideas often come from failed attempts, a bad idea, an extra plan, an interesting test. You have something that changes the world all of a sudden. Remember this the next time you send a tweet or scroll through your timeline. It all began with a podcasting app. That was never going to work. Thanks for watching and see you next time.